Playback, Mathematic 2. The game actually got to name them. Big Boutte is a Highland cleric that we found in the game. It's a good name. And the fact that he has 69 hit points is a coincidence, but it's still a pretty funny coincidence. We've entered the code. Because of your superior intellect and diligence, you have saved Kron and all of its warrants. This ship, created by the ancients, is a grand experiment designed to populate this distant world. Prepare to beam down in Might and Magic 3. It's here, on the floor. I didn't see it. Thank you, my friends. You have banished chaos and rejected the false path of uncompromising order. Under the weight of the evidence and from the skilled pressure tactics of your lawyer, Lucas breaks down and admits to their crime. Congratulations, Ace. I think we're having a real moment here. I've changed my mind. I can't give her up. You can have your money back. How could I sell something so dear? And again, a deal's a deal, right? Right? Catch you later. Good luck. Enjoy. I'm out of here. Let's pick up the bottle of grog here. Pick up the root beer. Use the root beer with the jug. Apparently root beer works very well. We get to see an instant replay. And a view from the blimp as well. I wonder what would happen if I tore the leg off this thing. Ark.
You have a reservation. Madre de Dios, es el Puello Diablo. Man, I'm ready for you.
Yeah. Here it goes.
Enter visualization request.
Let's try it in the other order.
Subject code accepted. 6452331 recognized. Beginning message.
Grand experiment of the ancients to use the technology of elemental manipulation to create a completely viable ecological and social microcosm. This microcosm was then to be transported to a distant biosphere, Terra, to supplant its indigenous ecosystem. The need was acknowledged for a central controlling unit capable of compensating for expected anomalies.
Well struck. That looks like a fatal blow.
Yeah, die.
My death will not save you from our wrath.
Are you going to plug me into Link, sir? I hope you know what you're doing.
have no idea what we're doing. But,
Something is happening, I think. Yes, I'm gaining control. I found my destiny, Mr. Foster.
goals in the middle. Perhaps we didn't even need to know that. The yellow crystal is over on the left side. And the blue one is on the right side. Switch to Annie. Have her pull the lever to close the trapdoor. Have her push the switch on this side. Switch to Zack. Have him push the switch on this side. Bump our way through this wall. Another mini boss. Okay, this should be better. Let me find the... Here it is. Sorry about that. The occasionally the input just falls off, it disappears when Windows has updated something. Yeah, I'm guessing the computer updated itself and rebooted. Always makes the microphone just disappear from view. And, as I was saying before, and no one heard me, I've been on a bit of a hiatus. The kids were home here for 4 weeks. There wasn't a pretty big wave of COVID hitting us here, and we decided to just keep them home for the last 2 weeks of the year, and the first 2 as well, while the peak of the wave hit us. And working full time and having the kids at home, I had no energy to stream, so I haven't been on in a bit, but the kids are back and I'm back, so let's try to go onwards with this game. It's been about a month since we last streamed this game. Need to do this. I can actually see the game. But other than that, I think we're pretty much ready to go. Music is playing in the background. Now, when we left this game last time, I think we just entered this cave. Yeah, we had just done so. I should probably, as is usually the case with this game, up the brightness just a little bit. It's always a bit dark, this game. Let's cast some light on the subject here as well. So we can actually see something. And onwards we march. There's a door. Try one of the usual keys and we'll try the lockpicks, neither of which work, so I'm guessing that we are supposed to be able to access this door just now. Might need to find the right key. An intersection. Another door. This one at least opened. Yeah. I've forgotten, does the evil cheek actually work with these guys? This does. Yes. It does indeed. It does indeed work. As per usual, these guys leave absolutely nothing behind. There's a dead body here on the floor. Some torches. A few of these herbal packs. We have any of them? We have 17 of them, in fact. We can add a few more. There's a chest there as well. Cheers, 48k Ryan, welcome in. Thanks for the resub.
48 Cram just resubscribed for 4 months. Hey hey. The Krondorks are back. Less than 3 Sigurd love.
The Krondorks. Betrayal of the Krondorks. No, what do you think the Krondorks, the legend, the betrayal at Krondorks? That's what do you think the odds are that this this chest is trapped? Oh, it's one of these more retro chests. Yeah, I was saying at the start of the stream, it's been the kids were home for the whole first 2 weeks of the year, and I was working full time with the kids at home all day, and it was I just had zero energy left to stream. It was pretty difficult. Now the kids are back, so I'm back at this again. 2 brothers wanted to race a course to see which had the slowest horse. As neither wanted to spur his mare, what must they do to make it fair? Oh, that's a good question. What are the possible... It's rare that these are 2 words. Now this one is
48K of RAM, so that's where I get my handle from. So it could play all the Atari 800 games on our Atari 400.
yeah, you should definitely go follow 48 RAM. He streams pretty much every week on Tuesday. He's dedicating himself to some tech streams lately, which if anything are more fun than anything else. Do you have a clue? Welcome in, Eva. Nice to see you. Do you have any clue what the answer to this riddle is? If the two brothers wanted to race, neither wanted to spur his mare to find out which had the slowest horse. What would they do to make it fair? It's 2 words of 5 letters each. Is it stand aside? No. Can't be, it doesn't have a T as an option. Go to Google the answer to this one. The answer to this one is trade mares. It's a good point, but great tower plate, even in its advanced state of deterioration. The dwarven armor was worth 2 suites of standard plate, reddish brown scales of rust, pocked its ancient surface, but its original making had rendered it so lifelike. It appeared not like a corrupted metal breastplate, but instead a cancerous human torso. Armor mod is 40%. This one is 55. And it's 3 times blessed. This is a decently good piece of armor, but not necessarily for the characters that we have at the moment. Question is, do we just try to leave it here and try to remember that it was here if we acquire a dwarf in the party? It's probably the one that would get the most use out of this. It's probably what we try to do. Can't just take up all the space required in the inventory just to chug this along. These stairs must lead to the Mac Borgoland Dock Emerald Mine. The tunnels are very complicated, but with the instructions we found in Stella's house, we should be able to make it through. Shall we try to find the library vaults? Oh, this is just a way out. Not quite yet. We aren't quite done exploring this yet. Search everything before we go out of here. Found the torch and we might as well use it. Okay, this is a dead end. This is not. We're definitely headed for trouble here. Let's not go into a battle without at least resting a little bit first. Even though that will definitely burn the torch out. Into trouble we go. Yeah, I used a modern day tool called Google. And it told me that trade mares was the solution to the puzzle. We're surrounded by what looks like scorpions. Hope that we don't get poisoned here. That would be bad. We are in fact not poisoned. Through some stroke of luck. Yeah, it is, because we don't really have much in the way of antidote. We had some on us, but it's been a while since we've been at a store where you've been able to buy some. So I ran out. When I do find a store again that sells the antidote, I'll buy more of it. So we don't really have any sort of spell or anything to that degree that can help us overcome the poisoning. So if you do get poisoned, you're SOL, as they say. A box beneath a tree, inside some tasty meat. Kept for a month or more, it still tastes just as sweet. Seems unlikely, and in this the trouble with most of these riddles is that they're definitely trying to put one over on you. It's a C, a W, an A, and an S. Yeah, it's not actually a box in that sense. I'm fairly sure you're right about that. Is it Cassis? No. It's walnut. Mm-hmm. Yeah. More of this mana restoration potion thing. can certainly come in handy. We can't carry more of it. We currently have 12. One of these things as well, which we can sell. Can we fit some here? Yes, we can. Okay. Have some room. We'll take it for now. Oh, this is not a Marito box. And chances are that it's trapped. $23 shillings. What a pitiful reward. What a reward nonetheless, I guess. Back to the main hallway. It's really just the one door where we sort of came in that we haven't been able to open up yet. So try it again. No, this door is off limits, as I originally thought. So out we go into that library, which is why we came in here. It helps to actually make correct turn. Here. Hold on. Going to Koroth nodded. Together they climbed the moss-covered stone stairway that led to the mines. Bits of rock and splintered wood covered the dirt floor, making it difficult for them to walk, but they picked their way through the rubble and after nearly an hour came to a wrought iron ladder piercing a dark hole in the ceiling. The rungs were rusty and metal splinters ripped at their hands and snagged their clothes as though trying to deny them egress from the mines as they climbed upward. The ladder ended up in a small wooden hallway, thick with dust and decorated with silky strands of spiderweb. A door at the end of the hall opened, after some effort, into a huge room stuffed with books. They had been heard. Assembled in the book-lined passage were 6 priests, all keenly interested in the arrival of the 2 strangers. Amidst them, a broad-shouldered priest stepped forward. "Your presence may explain a great deal," the priest said, stabbing a finger in their direction. "We've been unable to leave the vault since this morning. We found the door is bolted from the other side, and since I find it unlikely that our brother priests of Shep have chosen to starve us to death, It's not like that at all, Owen replied, waving his hands. We ran into your brother Mark when we were coming up the road. He said one of your brethren had fallen ill with pigeon fever and somehow his condition is linked to the passages being blocked. The mystic defenses one of the other priests offered. Is it possible that his delusions may have triggered them? Quickly a debate ensued between the rope priest, finishing at last with several brethren scurrying off to shelves assigned for their examination. The stern look, the anchored priest also pointed to a shelf and directed that Owen and Gorath look for anything that mentioned the mystic defenses of Sarth or outbreaks of pigeon fever. Hours passed, his eyes aching from reading the nearly illegible handwriting of ancient scribes. Owen leaned his head back against the ancient shelving. I have no idea what we're looking for, Gorath. I've run across a half a dozen references to this abbey. Then I discovered it has something to do with experiments with peas or an account of a new system of organizing these books. Sound drew their attention. At the end of the book's drawn passageway in which they sat, the priest eyed the disorganization with distress. Why are you still down here? Still looking for an answer, Owen said. Vaguely he gestured at the half-dozen open books around him. Haven't found it. Oh, biting his lip, the priest seemed pensive about continuing. Well, I'm afraid we solved that problem about an hour ago. Brother Dominic is doing a bit better now. We were wondering where you two had gotten to. Angered, Owen slammed shut the cover of the book which he held in his lap, a translation of Dorsas's treatise on the animation of objects. Likewise, next to him, Gorath stuffed away a wormy-looking book on history. Keep it, the priest insisted before Owen could put away the magical treatise. Dorsas is popular here. We have other copies cross-indexed in the library. I was also instructed that once I found you, I was to reward you with these. Opening a pouch, the priest handed them 3 nearly perfect emeralds. They are yours in appreciation for all you've done here. It is a small gesture, but I hope a useful one. Please feel free to continue to scan our library if it pleases you. We're definitely supposed to be scanning this library. Maybe we can get back in. And once again, we need to free up some space. What's this? Dorsas's treatise. Gorath flipped through the crisp, well-lettered pages with growing interest. Seeing a passage he thought might be of later interest when reading, he dog-eared the edge of a page, but was astonished as the page unbent itself, crease vanishing without a trace before his very eyes. Fairly sure we're supposed to learn something of this. From this book, this note says the minds of the Mac, Borg and Dak are hereby deeded to Majakar, Black Patch and all wealth therein. A section of the caverns was sealed by a special door, which may only be opened with this map, a magical spell having been put upon it. that how we were supposed to get through that door previously? I think he saved before attempting to open this box here. Let's probably do that again. And then I'm curious whether we can somehow use this map to unlock that door. That's not the right way. And then we probably have to search that library. Although I'm not 100% sure as to what we're going to be looking for. I did want to save before doing so though, because we had searched the library before many chapters ago, and it poisoned us. Did all manner of weird damage to us. I'm about to just randomly try that again. And how exactly do we... How exactly would we do that? There's no way for us to use this thing. It's weird. I can't figure it out. Maybe it's not the solution at all anyway. Let's return to the library. We'll save before we send the stairs. Then we'll skip through all the dialogue and do a thorough search of the library. Up we go. He might as well be writing in Casino instead, shaking his head. While searching for an index, he discovered a small addendum which related a few of his conversation with Macros. This is interesting. Something to help us find Puck, Gord questioned. No, but something that might lead us to someone who might know something about this book of Macros, Owen replied with excitement. It says here that someone named Thomas Magazine of Elvandar once traveled with he and Macros. Perhaps this Thomas fellow would know something about the Macros or his book. Smiling grimly, Gora's eyes held a dark humor. You intend then that we should enter Elvandar? They will not be well pleased to see the likes of me. Why is that? Owen asked, putting the book back on the shelf. The king of Queen, Alagrana, and those of my blood are enemies of old. None enter the Elvandar itself, save those who want to her or are considered the most intimate of friends, he said. It will not be an easy journey. Chuckling, Owen patted Gorod on the back. After the past few months, I can't imagine this trip being all that difficult. Besides, we'll be back close to where we met, near Lamat. I believe there may be a way through the Elvandar near there. Okay, we seem to have stumbled upon the correct book on the first try. I figured we would have to do a lot of searching to find it. Hey there, please, welcome in.
Really.
Thanks a lot for the raid, man. Hope your stream went well. Welcome in from Gleaser's channels. We're playing Betrayal at Krondor, which is a Friday staple here. Has been for a good while now. This is part 16 of our playthrough of this game. Now there's some magic to be bought here. It's a spell called Dragon's Breath. Spare thy eyes is here. Flamecast. Skyfire. Eyes of Ishab. Night Fingers. Nacre Cisatrix. Skin of the Dragon. Thoughts like clouds. Yeah, some of them certainly sound interesting. We're back to the business at hand of thanks for the resub, Gleaser. And welcome in. Thanks for the raid again.
Blazer just resubscribed for 13 months. Hello all.
Welcome in, my friends. Hope you had a good stream.
But buying the family art is okay, but most wild offers are just for people who just want.
Thanks for shouting out Gleaser, Eva. You go follow Gleaser, he's back at the streaming helm. yeah, Twitch does that, oddly enough. I'm thinking we take this book as well. Now, do they want to... Hey there, Retro Potter. Thanks for the resub. Welcome in.
Retroponder just resubscribed for 16 months. Evening.
Yeah, thanks, Glacier. That's appreciated. It's always nice to have you here. Thanks for shouting out Retro Ponder as well. He does these high score challenges. These fun streams. We'll check him out as well. That's Brother Mark again. Brother Mark Howe interview, still wielding a hoe in his hammy fist. He gestures to Owen with it. Like a moth to the candle flame. What about Sarth? Has you so quickly back here? I'm thinking that we might travel back to Krondor. Sell this jewelry to make a little cash and go back to Sarth and might buy some of those spells. Yeah, it's a constant struggle with the music, even if it's in the background. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do that recently. Make sure that the audio track isn't going to the WOD. This is not the store I want. The store I want is this one. Yeah, the gem store. Should get us the best price for these. Where's the pot? Yeah, he probably figured he was due for a long vacation. It's been a while since I streamed, so he might have gone off to the Gran Canaries on Tenerife. Let me kick him a little bit. Not very hard though. Yeah, he's just disconnected, poor thing. A random dad joke. Give us one then. It's a terrible joke. It isn't even a joke. Not only was he offline, but also off his kilt. I wonder if the page that serves up the jokes is dead. There's a little truth to that 48k RAM. I'll find another dad joke feed. And I'm not talking about One Man Conga, although he's welcome anytime. Are we going in the right direction here? It's probably best to. I find it incredibly easy to get very badly lost in this game. No one has stolen our stuff, so we'll just put it back. Yes. Once entered the World Kleptomaniac Championships. I took gold, silver, and bronze. It's good. Okay. This was Dragon's Breath. I'll take that. Let's see if we've already learned it or not. You can't see all the spells. You can just see the ones that you can cast out of combat. So sometimes it's not easy to realize. Creates a thick fog. Interesting. That's one. Let's go back. This is still Dragon's Breath, right? Yes. That's Despair Thy Eyes. It's Flamecast. This is Skyfire. It's a combat spell. Eyes of Ishab. Night Fingers. I'm almost certain we don't have that one. Also a combat spell. I'm guessing it is. Yeah, it is. More spell buying. We were here. This was Night Fingers. This one is called Nacre Cicatrix. Pick that one up next. I'm being a little bit careful here so we don't accidentally buy something that we already learned. It's pretty expensive. Nacre Cicatrix. Caster can sense magic items. That's highly useful. What was this one, right? This one is what? Skin of the Dragon. Thoughts like clouds. Fairly certain we know neither of these. Start with one of them. Don't have space for more than one anyway. You already know this one. Oh, that's good reason to not learn it again. Also why we saved. Okay, so that's not one we need to buy. That's not one we need to buy, so we can focus on the last one. Thoughts like clouds. Another combat one. There is a temple there, and it's tempting at this point. Where did he say we were going to be going? Didn't he say Elvendar? Hey there, Bargain Bin, welcome in. Yeah, I took a bit of a hiatus. All the kids were home and I was working full time and just didn't have any energy left to stream. The kids are back at kindergarten now, so, and school for that matter. So, what did that book say? Let me go back to the library here. Elvandar. Where is Elvandar on the map? They did say it was close to Lamott. Is it perhaps through this the cave that we found near the start of the game? Might be. Let's start our hike. It will take us a while to get there. This is the road we traveled when we went back to down to Krondor much earlier in the game. So it's been a while since we were here. Where are we now? Did we go in the wrong direction? Of course we did. I keep getting lost in this game. It's an ongoing theme. At least we're traveling in the right direction now. And it's just onwards. It's Quester's view. Might want to take a quick peek at the stores here. Nothing of value there. Let's see if we can find some rations. Let's spend 2 nights at the inn at least and fully recover our health. Let's go back to the shop. Fairly certain we can no rations at the shop either. Have to try to pick up some rations on the way. This was the right way, right? No, exactly the wrong way. This is where we want to go. All fun and games. Skyfire. Opponents must be carrying metal. It's interesting. Unfortunate flux. Summon sprites to attack enemy. Thoughts like cloud confuses enemy spellcasters. Interesting. Causes blade to do extra fire damage. Okay. I know for a fact that these guys are not affected by Evil Seek, so Evil Seek doesn't really work on them at all. At least neither of us are poisoned. Or what is Owen poisoned? Yeah, he is. Okay. I'm gonna have to redo this battle then. Try to keep him out of range of the arrows. See if any of them has any antidote on them. Doubt it. No, they don't. Fine. Try to take out these bowmen as quickly as we can. He's already poisoned. I figured I'd be safe behind this guy, but that's not the case. Yeah, the battle was won, but at what cost? If we can't get the advantage, it might actually be better for us to just run as close as we can to the bowmen to try to get them out of ranged combat. Might be best bet. I can't see these guys anywhere. Stand on this side. Not too worried about Goroth, he seems to be decently resistant to the poison. Owen is definitely not. It's acceptable to being poisoned. Is Owen poisoned anyway? No, he's not. That's good. Made it out. We're alive and we're not poisoned. Some rations. That's nice. Unpoisoned as well. Fix up our armor a little bit here. There's a brand new armorer's hammer here with 30 charges. We'll take it. Are these Russians okay? No, they're not. Are there more of these guys? Yeah. There's at least one more body here. That's kind of difficult to see. There are actually two of them. What the hell is this? Rorik seal. Unable to identify the signet on the face of the ring. Gotta check the inner surface for an inscription. Barely legible was a short epitaph written for an unknown reader. I think it works, this ring of mine, but it will sneeze about half the time. Interesting. What does that do? I wonder what that ring is about. That's Quester's view. Lamott is there. So track onward. Another band of these guys. Up to absolutely no good, of course. Thought you'd get away, did you? We'll take any gold we can get our hands on here. More restoratives. Can you always use those as well? For those cases where we just can't escape taking damage, that sometimes happens. I was hoping we would find some rations here as well. No such luck. We do need to rest. we're very quickly running out of rations. Onwards. It's a store, right? It is. Rations. The dad jokes are broken, Eva, for some reason. Seems that the page that serves them out is broken. I'll find a fresh feed. Such sadness that it's broken. By the way, did that shop maybe have some antidotes? That would be very useful, but no. I was diagnosed with a chronic fear of giants. I have V5 phobia. That's actually a pretty good joke. At least by the perhaps by the standards set by this channel, which might not be saying a lot really, but hey there, Jerry, welcome in, thanks for the raid. How was the missionary stream tonight?
We were making the battle go back and forth, and then the button would change the direct.
You should go follow Archer. He streams every Friday night. Yeah. We got missionaries from Finland. They play the Amiga and sometimes the C64 as well. At least these fights don't seem to be overly difficult this time around. I already have pitchfork. Add some lockpicks. Unspoiled rations, that's pretty good. Ah, yes, the Jackbox. Yeah, that's good fun. Where are we now? Yeah, we're just outside of Questus View. Continue westwards. focus on the bowman first. Try to stop us from being poisoned to death. Goroth is basically a killing machine at this point. He can slay these guys with a single blow of the sword. Almost every time. He's making light work of these guys. These are spoiled. He's a pixel killer, yes. I suppose that's one way of approaching it. More mana potion. A ruby. Should make some room for the ruby. The author's favorite did make many useful points on the subject of interrelation. The principle allowed the magician to strike a target object with a spell and suggested that people first practicing the craft use a concoction called Luton's Concentrate to improve the accuracy with which they directed their spells. Interesting. Okay. I don't think there's actually any value in this note. I think we could just leave it here. Take this emerald instead, sell it at the next shop. On we go. Now I'm almost 100% certain that where we're going is that mine that we found pretty early on in the game. We explored some of it. But then we couldn't continue. Forget why we couldn't continue, but there was no way for us to continue. There was a task that we left behind there. We were supposed to kill some sort of beast. sell the restoratives and pick some of the true side tea up. It's highly useful, increases accuracy. Might need that. We might be headed into some tough little battles. I think the mine was actually located midway between the two towns here. It was somewhere very close to Lamont. Are these dogs? Yes, they are. I have no idea why we're fighting dogs. I'd really rather not, but they attacked us. Guess we defend ourselves. Assume the dogs didn't really carry much of anything with them, but I'll check anyway. No, of course I didn't. It's probably the mine, right? There it is. Save here. How are we gonna help? Should we go back and buy some rations? No, let's not right now. There was a guy just around the entrance here that told us about the task at hand. So I guess he's still here. Yes, he is. Another Bandok. I heard you coming down the passageway. We were just looking around for a way to get to Alvandar. That's where I had heard that before. I remembered the name. I think I'd heard once it was the other side of the Great Towers. You found a way. These mines stretch all the way from one side of the Great Towers to the other. We had to collapse, but we broke through about half an hour ago. So my brother McConnell for the first time in months, but there's some tragic loss too. It was a falls in the caverns and the passages to it were terribly damaged. I don't know that we'll ever see it again. Terrible mess those Bracknor made, but we can get through to Alvandar. But I advise you to stick to the main passages. There are some windy bits that can cause some human distress. It's a common we wouldn't let you go alone as you get lost, but only the major passages have been cleared. You'll do safe enough. Before we go, could we ask you a few questions? I heard the cats, Retropunter. You go off to bed. You sleep well. Enjoy the rest of your night. Yeah, thanks for the welcome back. It's good to be back. What do you want to know? I'm surprised we haven't seen many cases of Quitchen fever up this way. They're having problems with it down at the Abbey of Ishab at Sarth. If you're going to talk about Borgland, call it by its name, alright, not by the Keshin Park. Sarth was dwarven, not the Abbey itself, no, but the caverns beneath was the greatest emerald mine that was ever dwelt. The Macborgland dock, it ran for miles in every direction, and part of the chambers ran right beneath where the abbey now stands, though I understand those silly priests have stuffed the tunnels to the rafter with books. Still own the caverns now, but we've made an arrangement with Jacker Blackpatch. When he moved into the keep, it's been built over one of the entrances. Jacker still owns the mine. If corpses can be said to own anything, he's been dead a long while, even as dwarves reckon time. The mines are the property now of the brothers of Ishap. I doubt they know how to get from their vault to the main passages of the mine. It's interesting. After we leave the Macmordengadal, which way will we take to Elvendar? I've never been there. Don't think for a moment it's going to be as easy as that now, do you, lad? Elves don't exactly invite the rest of the world in for a pleasant tea parties. I think they'll take particular exception to your Morito friend here. Oh, he's not Morito, he's an elf what doesn't know the way to Elvendar. I'm no fool, and you'll be even sorrier off if you try that one on one of the war leader Thomas's border rangers. Have the both of you angled by your ankles from a tree in a sparrow's fall. What I hear from my brother McConnor is true. They may even have cause to shoot your friend on sight. Why? What would they have against Gorath? Nothing personally against the Moridrol. I'm not sure of the details, but I've heard the Moridrol are pressing the borders near Morlin. I'm sure my brother McConnor can tell you more about it than I. If he's not still in the Cadal, he may be on the road to Caldara. Okay. Don't we all, but a happier day I've not long had. If you wish to be going on through to Alvandar, just keep following your nose west until you see daylight. How would you say thank you in your native tongue? I don't think you could get your tongue around it, or I'll tell you, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Good traveling to you. West, he says. We've been here before. And we finished this map. Pretty sure we emptied all of these boxes. Well, shall we? Indeed. They descended noisily several times. Owen nearly lost his footing on the mossy steps. Fortunately caught himself before sending them all tumbling down the dwarven stairwell. At last they emerged into a large corridor. Now here we have not been before. Other side of this mine. New toy, 48k RAM, very nice. It's a door. it's at least no longer locked. Fun and games to be had here. Got the element of surprise. That's nice. I don't actually think that Evil Seek works against these guys. No, it doesn't. Does absolutely nothing. So we can help Goroth at least with this task at hand. I really don't even have a decently basic multimeter. I really should at least buy one. Keep borrowing one if I need to use one. It's really not very good. Some sort of box here on the floor. Probably should check it for traps. Not getting an entrance to this chest. Oh, good thing. Some Russians here. Split them evenly between them. And if we have space, I think I'll take the torch as well. Okay, we don't have any space. A little annoying that we can't open this little chest here. No, screwed. Okay, maybe we're supposed to come back to it. So it's $65 give or take for a semi-decent meter with some decent quality leads. It's not too bad, I guess. Worshippers of Kushwa, the red-jawed hunter. Group moved in a disorderly clump. Playing a three-fingered hand, a ritual mutilation of the priestly caste. Hey, guess what ordinance state? You shall be his prey. These guys again. Lovely. Should have rested before this battle. Owen just basically got wiped out. Restoring Owen to his former condition is a difficult and a laborious task. We should back up and rest a bit before heading into this battle. Okay. Let's try that one again. Let's try this one, see what it does. Does a lot of damage actually. One down. Gorath can take the other two. Not too shabby. Let's finish this detour here. The north. Or we march onwards. This is a big battle. Four of these guys now. This might be one of my best options. There's a mage over there. I didn't see him. Guy in the yellow pants. How is Owen? pretty bent. What we should have done is we should have gone directly for that spellcaster. We should have run up against him to prevent him from casting the spell. That would have been the optimal way to do this. Let's see if we find some rations on these guys. If we do, it's fine. We'll just rest. But if we don't, then it's tempting to restore. So we don't spend the little food that we have. One took quite a bit of damage. We did find 4 restoratives. Did find 4 restoratives. We'll use them. That's at least some way to making up for the health that we lost. Take it. Slightly worried that we'll run out of rations down here. Really don't want to go all the way back. Suck a bit. Really not really all that much in this room. Barely anything really. Haven't gone this way yet. It's at that end. Okay. Already cleaned out these guys, right? Not that guy at least. Something on the floor ahead. A bunch of rocks. Pit yawned before them, careful not to edge too close and fall in. Owen shook his head. Getting across that is to swing across. I missed something approaching that hole though. pretty big room here. Interesting little rock piles here. Pretty sure we are supposed to search all of them. It's probably treasure or something valuable in one of them. One was a dead end. This game really is a big fan of these long and endlessly winding corridors. Plenty of those in the game. These guys don't look very nice. Don't look nice at all. Okay, this is going to be a problematic fight for sure. Not really at full health. These guys are doing a lot of damage to us. Probably have to try that one again. Yeah. Would have done it probably anyway, instead of trying to restore Owen. This one, right? Yeah. Use our rations to heal up. Alright. A full set of health before approaching this, and what's more, an attempt to does Evil Seek work against these guys? It does. It's mighty helpful. Even if it's only a one bout that I'm able to do, it's going to be very useful. It's going to be more than one bout. Cast 2 instances of the spell. That went very well. We want to use these restoratives. We're basically going to have to put this into a sack. Then hit the body. Where is this guy? Is that corpse? This one. Which one had the restoratives? This guy. Yeah. If we want to use them, we'll have to basically do this and then go back. Pick this up. Chests all over here. Small and big. A grave here as well. Save before we go at the grave. Death will come quickly to those who trespass here. Leave now or your suffering will be 1,000 times worse than of the one now buried beneath this marker. Nothing in there except the body. Oh, lovely. Should cast a spell. See if these things are trapped. Not getting into this one. This is one of those marital ones. Flat as a leaf, round as a ring, has 2 eyes but can't see a thing. That's a needle, right? No, it's not round as a ring. Yeah, the needle only has 1 eye. Flat as a leaf. And round as a ring. Has 2 eyes. Can't be a table with 6 letters. I was thinking this could be some sort of bread, but no bread has any eyes. Starts with a G, a C, a B, or a P. Yeah, you feel free to suggest something, Glisser. I hate these puzzles. I will Google it if we don't find an answer quickly enough. Button. That is a very smart suggestion. Probably a correct one. Is indeed a button. Black Nimbus and Gambit of the Eight. Fine. Probably combine these. Yes, we can. It makes sense when you say it, but yeah, I wouldn't have come up with that either. We're very quickly running out of rations here. I would rather like it if we found some. There's at least one more of these chests here. So let's see if we can open this one. Yes, actually we can. The shell really isn't worth very much. And, there was quite a bit of gold in there, so take that. There's no way out of this room though. No, there's really no point to being here except to find these scrolls. Undoubtedly very valuable to us. Fairly sure we needed to have these fights. Back here in the main hallway. As we continue westwards. More gold. That's nice. Okay, that's at that end. Back here again. Crossroads. We try to finish the one behind us first, or we clunker over this one. So that's the Brack Noir. He activates trap crystals. That's the black nimbus. Okay, that's useful. Hawk chose Haven, shields target from damage. I guess we give that to Goroth. And then we give Goroth Steelfire as well. That wasn't that hard. I was actually expecting that to be a lot more difficult than it actually was. This guy has absolutely nothing on him. Not even a key. We're basically out of rations at this point. Probably see what's on the other side of this right now. It's just at that end. Careful that we don't accidentally walk into the pit. Might be largely done with this. We probably have to go through it again. If we forgot something, we'll go back for it. And in Elvandar we're on the other side of this map. That's my Bandok. It's an awful mess from here on out. Wyverns have come in from over the mountains and have singed things up a bit. We hadn't been beating back flames this past 2 weeks. We've been through a month sooner. Don't know how many roads are passable at this stage, but Kinafjorn can come and help us clear out the mess in the mine. Left as soon as word reached us that the fires were approaching Elvandar. Where did the Wyverns come from? Where I was led our Northlands, some new bastard Moritor leader. I hear harassing your kinfolk. I hope you haven't any kids in harm's way. know what of the Moridro. Few as were known to cross over from the Morrowind already got themselves skewered, though I know that Prince Kaelin has been on the frontier looking for others. The biggest concern as yet is to put out the flames and get help to those as got trapped behind it all. Prince Kaelin leads, what of War Leader Thomas? War news indeed. 3 days ago, Thomas led a band of elves to stem raiders who had come from over the river in Morrowind. They beat the raiders back or rights, but in the melee the warlord took a thrust to his side with a tainted blade. He had to carry him back to Elvendar, though I understand it wasn't without a struggle. Thomas wanted to stay, but word was carried back to Aglarana of his condition, and that was the end of that. Prince Kaelin assumed control of the patrols at that point, and keen as he's still up near the northeastern fringe of the forest, carving up Moridro. Does the war leader yet live? That lad has ever been a fighter, and tenacious, and one at that. Sooner or later, cut a leg off than succumb to this poison. I wouldn't worry. I think it took your kin for a turn, though. Seeing Thomas fall, I've never heard of it happening in the 15 years I've been with your folk. Very quiet and rather quickly. You mentioned fires. Extinguished now, though not without a fair portion of foot stomping and bucket carrying. Thought for a while the whole forest might become all one ferocious blaze. But Tather and the rest of Queen Agrarana's Belarus managed to put an halt to that business. And we should have no difficulty returning to Elvendar. I don't know, I would exactly say that. There's still a fair number of those wyverns flapping about the forest, though Tather's been working night and day to bring the blighters down. Even taught Prince Kaelin a little bit of spellcraft. I can bend the will of these cantankerous lizards, but I understand it still hasn't put an halt to the raids. What of the dwarves? No, we volunteered a few men, but as you elves don't much like outsiders in your realm, we've respected your borders. King Dolgan did send a few volunteers to help out the elf queen, but a lot of them took a terrible weariness once they entered the forest and could go no further. Must have fell afoul of one of your fabled sleeping glades. We may face wyverns. It might be wise if we had our armor repaired. Are there any armor crafters in Galdara? Are there any leaves in Elvendar? You've gone daft. Of course there are armor crafters in Galdara. You don't have to go all that way though. I can repair it for a few gold, and if you watch close you might even learn a bit about the craft of repairing armor. Does 100 sovereigns suit you? Yes. Well, lad, I'd be much obliged if you'd remove any armor you might have on under that tunic of yours, and if your elf friend will do the same, we'll get to work. Now just watch what I do. Someone told me once a few dents in the armor can actually be beneficial. Something about catching blows that would ordinarily scrape along the surface into the chinks. Makes some sort of sense when you think about it. I suppose maybe it would be a good idea to make armor so that it already has bumps and facets. If we already had them built in, then the armor we've already finished. I finished. You'll find your armor in as good as a condition as it can be, though I dare say you'd have learned a great deal more if you spent more time listening and less time talking. Fine. Bite me. There's very little in the way of traps like that in the game. The game is trolly in many ways, but it doesn't really trap you like that. But at least our armor is very much in good nick right now. Now, I'm hoping we can find some place that could sell us some rations. Owen knocked on the door. Hickory scented pipe smoke slid underneath, curled gently around his feet. The smell had barely reached his nose when the dwarves flung open. They were greeted by a smiling dwarf. Great day, come in laddies, join us. Over his left shoulder they could see several other dwarves seated around a small wooden table onto which they were tossing small squared stones. Instructions completed, they were invited to join the game. Only 5 sovereigns. Standing around the table, Owen was given a stone, and after a count of 3, all were thrown onto the table. Klapka yelled one of the dwarves, grabbing the stone thrown by Owen. "You lose, lad." He scooped all the coins into his lap. "What?" cried Owen. "That was a double dragon. The first to yell Klapka and grab the other stone is the winner," said the dwarf. "Care to try again?" "Sure." "Atta boys, drop into the pot and pick up your stones." Once again, they tossed the stones on the table at the count of 3. This time, 2 of the dwarves stood up excitedly and yelled "Wooka wooka." They picked up their stones and tossed them down again. After the second throw, one dwarf slammed his fist on the table and the other, grinning broadly, scooped all the coins into his lap. "Ach, wooka stones, care to try your luck again, lads?" "This is a trap." "Very good, I think your luck is about to change," said the dwarf. He tossed the stones on the table for a third time. Strange markings on each side, flipping and spinning wildly as they bounced across the table. "Table," said one of the dwarves cheerfully. "All coins stay on the table. Will you play again?" Owen tossed 5 more coins onto the table. Once again, at the count of 3, he threw his stone. This time, the settling of the stone was greeted by amazed silence as all the dwarves stared at the table. "Ach," yelled one dwarf, "it cannot be." The others quickly joined in, and soon all were whispering and arguing amongst themselves in a language Owen couldn't understand. Finally, while the others looked on in disgust, the dwarf who had met them at the door spoke. "You threw a dragon, lad." Realizing the import wasn't sinking in, he continued. "You threw a dragon and we all threw wookas. Did we win?" Owen asked, still confused. "Kill me now, eh? You won everything." The other dwarves began to dump handfuls of coins on the table. "Must be over 100 gold pieces. You'll be playing again, won't you?" Before the dwarves had a chance to complain, Gorath picked up the coins and headed for the door. "Got to give us a chance to win our money back," that dwarf yelled after them. They pretended not to hear. That was beneficial. We have more gold. Gold is good. They knocked on the door and waited for a reply. There were some shuffling sounds, then the door swung open and they found themselves staring down at the dwarf. "Bless me bones, what brings you lads so far from home?" He invited them into the house and offered them some fresh water for their pouches. He asked of their journey, and they told him briefly. "I've heard about the troubles being had by the elves then?" he asked. Troubled questioned Owen. "Aye, damnedest thing. Baby dragons have been attacking Elvandar. War leader Thomas has been doing his best to keep them out, but there's only so much he can do." He talked some more of the attacks and of the strange rock-like inhabitants that have been spotted in the Magmorten Catel. They surprised him with a description of how they had killed one of the creatures. Thanking him for his kindness, they left. Fine. That used to be a tavern. It is sadly a tavern no more. Could have used one at this stage. I merely wish to prepare you for things that may transpire before we reach Elvandar. There are magic things ancient which have kept the Morita from crossing into the forests of Elidal. I feel those things that have been awakened. I may have some difficulty in completing our journey. Difficulty, what do you mean? It was not my intent to alarm you, only to reassure you that no matter what may happen between here and Elvandar, I've come to consider you a friend. Spoiled rations. So great. It's a store, right? approach. Not really what we need right now. What I need is food. I went banged on the door. After a moment, the man's voice called from his inside, "What do you want? Could you give us some fresh water for our pouches?" asked Owen. "There's a well just down the road. Now leave me alone." Further conversation didn't seem worth it, so they left. No one had answered the first knock, so Owen knocked again. Finally, a hoarse voice called to him, heavy with a dwarven accent. "Who's calling me?" "Come from the kingdom. Can we come in?" Owen asked. "Aye, the door's open. Do as you like." They opened the door and entered a dimly lit room, sparsely furnished. In one corner they could make out a shape, apparently laying on a bedroll. "Come in and rest your bones a minute," said the dwarf in a tired voice. With his eyes closed as though he was seeing the event on the inside of each lid, told him of his journey from Caldara and of one of the rivers that he had seen circling Anvadar. The bloody Maritar roaming about took a sword in the side from one. He rolled over. They could see a deep gash extending from his hip, halfway up his hairy back. "Can we do anything for you?" Owen winced at the gaping wound. "No, it looks worse than it is. I just need a few more days to rest up, that's all." Wished him well and left quietly. Speaking of wishing well, so well. I wish we could rest, but we don't have any rations. And here's a shop. And it has rations. Lovely. Sell this. Yes. Okay. Does he have anything else worth buying? Ah, yes. He has anti-venom. Oh, stock up. Buy at least 10 of them. Been a while since we found any of them. What does this do? Fail to recognize the elven key of lineages. 3 interact triangles form the head of the long steel key. Matrix representing the ancient Mechemian tribes of the Gilladal, the Mordral, and the Glonalatral. But what the key of lineages actually does. Don't have space for it at the moment, but can definitely rest now. And we can buy some more rations. At least 8 more or 7 more. Our rations problem is taken care of. Let's continue our journey. Let's see. That's a tree stop. I guess we can try the evil seek. Hello, Mr. Game. It does work. Oh, perfect. Did work. How is it possible to miss like this? Nothing to be had here. At least we have plenty of rations, so we can just rest. Goroth motioned for silence. It had been years since he had let his kin through the skirts of the Elytral forest on their escape from the Green Heart. The sights and smell were as familiar to him as the lines of the tips of his fingers, yet there was an unnatural feeling about the area they stood in. Something moves nearby, but it is not one of our blood or any forest animal whose movement sounds I know. I thought I was hearing something, a high-pitched sort of whine coming from the north. It is the same sound. Might be to our benefit if we were to see what source it is. What if it's something that thinks we look like dinner? If it wishes harm, better that we know what stalks us and have the advantage in attack than to allow it to come and eat us when it chooses the moment, don't you think? The choice is yours. Right. Owen was about to knock on the door when he heard loud voices coming from inside the small house. He listened but couldn't make out what was being said. He was about to knock again when the door swung open and 3 very loud and seemingly very drunk dwarves came charging out. All that sand on the banks of the endless sea. That's what's left of all the Bracknors have killed, that's right, don't you? The bragging dwarf stopped when he saw Owen and Gorath and turned to face his friends. A look of surprise and concern clearly displayed on his bearded face. What are you doing here? He demanded, eyes shifting to something behind Gorath. We're headed to Elvendar, Owen said. Has to be going then? It's quite a ways north here. He gestured to his friends, but rather than leaving, they went back inside the house. Owen felt eyes on his back as they turned to leave. I wonder where they're going. They obviously didn't want us to follow them. Right. Hey there, Texas footballer. Didn't see you slipping in there. Welcome in. Nice shot. Very nice shot, in fact. I think we're forced to rest at this point. It's very dark in this forest, must be said. Even during daytime, it's very dark. That's a mage. Guess our only option now is to try to go far enough away that we could maybe cast spell. Or is basically out for the remainder of the fight. We might be able to cast Evil Seek again. I don't know how we came out of that alive. We're pretty badly damaged though. Barely left standing. Still alive. I'm good enough, Eva. How have you been? Where has Will been? I haven't seen him stream in ages. Has he given up on the streaming? I don't know how we survived that, but we did somehow. The coarse white robe swung back and forth in a gentle breeze. Pretty Goroth asked Owen, who obviously was not looking forward to the work it was going to require to climb to the top of the tree. Yeah, sure, let's go. Follow me. Painfully, he pulled himself to the top of the tree and, still panting, turned towards Goroth's almost effortless ascent. The small elven house midway up the tree was abandoned. Searching inside, they discovered several empty boxes, each intricately carved, a hammock-style bed, a pile of dead leaves that had obviously blown in through the missing back window. They were about to leave when Goroth spotted something in the trees above him. Climbed up to take a close look as Owen carefully scooted out further on the branch he was on. Pulling back a handful of scorched leaves revealed the badly burnt body of a young male elf. I'd say this one fought a losing battle with a wyvern, Goroth said grimly. They descended the tree in silence. Yeah, I will speak to Will. This is a huge little map. Barely scraped the surface of it. Somewhere up here is Elvandar, probably further north. Yeah, I'm drinking some tea. It's one of those annoying little trap things. Those traps have been deactivated. Push this one forward. And we push this one forward as well. Can't push this any further. We should have pushed this one here. Pushed it here in front of the cannon. That was dumb. I will get hit by the cannon. Okay. We're through. How are we doing food-wise? Probably not too hot. Oh, we're nearly out of food. How far along are we? North of Evans. We might have to have back to buy some supplies. Nah, says he's leaving in February. Where is he going? Yeah, usually I can't be there in the morning when I'm working. I had a few days off during the holidays, and then I was able to hang around there in the morning. But if I'm working, that's pretty much out of the question. I miss his streams. I like his ramblings. Can't we climb this rope? We already did. Okay. Owen suddenly felt very tired. The urge to sleep overwhelmed him, consumed him. He turned to shout a warning. Before a sound could escape his lips, his world went dark. Nightmare images plagued him, ran through his mind like flames racing to feed on a kerosene-soaked rack. He woke the next day. It was with the realization that an entire day had just been stolen from his life. Shaking that numbness from his limbs, he saw Gorov doing the same. Picked up his pack and prepared to resume his journey. That's not too great. Iceland is ravaged with COVID. That's what Iceland is. It's just everywhere. And we kept the boys home for 2 weeks after the new year. See if we could ride out the wave. That's really not the case. No, it's chapter 6 actually. But I'm fairly sure the game just crashed on us. Trying to split the rations. That's fine, we'll restore. The thing is that for the longest time we had pretty good luck containing it, but we had a change of government and they've changed their tactics. The tactics now are more akin to what the Brits and Americans have been doing, which obviously has not been working out terribly well for either nation. So not sure exactly why we're following in their footsteps. But we've been doing so. This is where we fell asleep. How is it possible that they just no, we have our own currency. So I'm guessing that in this part of the forest, it's obvious that we're in grave danger. We need to try to get out of this area as quickly as we can. One way to do that is to just skip over to the other road from whence we came before. Let's head over the bridge. Head back to town. Buy some more rations. Really doesn't have to be this tight. Yeah, that sounds very German, Gleaser. Are we getting close to... Yeah, that's the shop, right? Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing for the AKRM as well. We're keeping a very low profile, but I had to eventually send the kids to kindergarten. We just couldn't keep them home forever. No matter how much we would have liked to do that, that's just simply not possible. take 2 nearly full packs of rations. Yeah, it hasn't entered this household yet, given how much we've had of it around us. That's really remarkable, but I think we won't be able to escape it forever. I'm trying to make sure that the 3-year-old doesn't get it, but we might not win that battle. Right now it's mostly the kids that are being infected. It's doing a real number on the schools and the kindergartens at this point. The adults are mostly vaccinated, and they either get very mild symptoms or they don't get sick at all. But the kids are pretty sick. I have question marks around affecting all of these kids with this virus. We have no idea what the long-term effects of getting this are, especially for someone just a few years old. So I question this decision to keep the schools open. Now, no doubt the kids need to socially interact with their peers and so on. I feel as that if they could probably still do that without having to have all of them contract the virus. But maybe I'm wrong. There is no right and wrong in this, really. It's just different ways of looking at it. We have no idea of what we're doing, whether it makes sense or not. Really. Just we're all trying to do our best, and now this is the same trap as we had before. Now I'm pretty sure that the first thing we're supposed to do is push this one that deactivates this trap. Then I'm pretty sure we're supposed to push this one in this direction. And here. And go here. Push it here. Right? To turn off this trap. Yeah. Then we can go here. Deactivate this one. And we can simply walk through, right? Yes, we can. That's the way to do it. The problem with all of the vaccines is that there are all of these different variants, and it's obviously causing issues. There's a decent chance that we're going to have to be vaccinated basically every 6 months now for a few years. Try to keep this at bay until it eventually dissolves into something that will probably be closer to a flu. At least that's the hope. That will be the case. Yeah, it's it's already going pretty poorly, so that's just the way it is. Very little we can actually do about that. Restoratives, hiding in the bushes. That's nice. We don't really need any, but it's good to know that they're the side of the road. Oh, there are 4 of these. Are they running away? No, this one is not, but the other 2 are. Let the other 2 run. Fight this one. Take that for sure. You thought that battle was going to drag on? Good joke. Okay, there's a side path over here. Let's take a look at the larger map here. I have no idea where exactly we are. Let's take this side path anyway. Can't climb all of these ropes. Climb some of them though. Owen used the rope to climb to a strong branch near the top of the tree. Gareth quickly followed, pulling himself up just as Owen knocked on the door of the small treehouse. The shuffling sounds that had been coming from inside abruptly stopped. Owen knocked again, holding on to a long hanging branch for support. "Please go away," called a young elf from inside the house. Owen stepped closer to the door. "We are going to hurt you. We're friends of Thomas and we need to find him." The door opened slowly and the young elf emerged. In the room behind him, Owen could see a box and several vials sitting on a small wooden table. The young elf, though obviously intimidated by Gorath's presence, told Owen of the Moridron and Wyvern attacks on Elvendar. He went on to talk of the Elven army and his mission to bring them several vials of water from a nearby well. A well purported to have a magical water that could permanently increase strength. He seemed anxious to leave, so they wished him luck as he packed up the remaining vials into his box. With barely a sound and the box under one arm, he slipped to the ground and disappeared into the trees. Computer chair for 350 euros and a laser printer. Yeah, we all need some stuff, but I guess the chair is fine, but what are you going to be doing with a laser printer? 2 more wyverns. Yeah, the chair is definitely useful. We should we spent a lot of time these days sitting somewhere, so share is definitely worth the investment. We should probably see if we could find this well you're speaking of here. Why is it so dark in here? This place. That's the well, right? The well seemed ordinary upon first glance, while Owen leaned over the edge and looked into rock-lined mouth. Goroth walked around the back, pulled away some vines that ensnared the well. He caught sight of a metal plate, handsomely engraved with elven markings. What did you find? Asked Owen, joining Goroth at the back of the well. The elves call this well Dragontail. When the magical water in the well is mixed with Goroth paused, trying to make out the words. Fatima's formula. It becomes capable of increasing the strength of all who drink of it. You have some. Maybe you should test this magic well. Yes. Owen took the vials of Fatima's formula and slowly emptied its content into the well. Nothing seems to be happening, he said. Perhaps this was another ritual trick. Perhaps, but not all the magic in this world must be accompanied by twinkling lights and swirling fire. Goroth dipped the cup into the well and raised it to his lips. Glancing at Owen, whose eyes appeared to be twice the normal size, he tipped back his head, let the cool liquid rush into his mouth and slide down his throat. A wave of heat rushed through his body, then a wave of cold. He closed his eyes as tiny invisible fingers grabbed at his chest, and radiating outward spread to his arms and legs, then his hand and feet. As quickly as they came, the sensation vanished. Are you okay? Did it work? Asked Owen with great concern. Without a reply, Goroth scooped more water out of the well, handing it to him. Soon they were on their way, both feeling better and stronger than ever. Inkjet printers are basically a scam. They're absolutely worthless pieces of technology. All they ever do is clean themselves, and buy ink at something like $1,000 per milliliter, and you spend all of it basically cleaning. A laser printer is a far better investment. If you actually want to print color photographs, which people seem to be very interested in actually doing, but rarely do anyway. I suggest you take them to a printing shop and have them printed there, because it's much cheaper than actually trying to run an inkjet printer. They're just terrible pieces of technology. Okay, we found this well, and we raised our strength level, both of which is nice. But, we really want to be heading north at this point. I think there's no avoiding fighting these wyverns. We've fought enough of them. Slowly making our way up here. I assume Elvendar is somewhere up here. No, I think we actually managed to increase our strength a bit. I think we actually got the benefit from it. We come to the moment Goroth said. Elvendar lies just ahead. Perhaps the Eladel may put this matter of macros to rest. Owen nodded, peering into the heights, hoping to catch a glimpse of the fair folk on the elaborate balconies among the leaves. The man was afraid to go on. Owen said, what if we're looking for what we're looking for isn't there? What if the elves think we're invaders and try to kill us? We will not be harmed, Goroth said, gasping at the magic of the elven forest attempted to turn him aside. If you think it's time to enter the city, then I follow. It's your decision, Owen. Oh, you can use it more than once until the game breaks. Okay. Won't even attempt that. Owen gasped, gaped, a wash in light. Elvendar glistened, its circuitous fairy walkways decked in glowing lanterns of brushed gold and crystal. Above, a canopy of silver-white leaves arched over the whole of the treetop city, masking from view whether sun or moon reigned in the skies beyond. God, isn't this the most perfect place you've ever seen? Owen exclaimed. I've never dreamt of anything like this. Squire, if you can hold your tongue for a moment, Gorath said, it might behoove you to bow to their queen. Flushed with embarrassment, Owen turned heel, shriveling as he noticed the clothed figures who waited patiently upon their thrones. Quickly he folded in obedience, hoping sincerely that human manners would be appropriate in the elven court. We have come from Krondor with news about Puck of Startalk, Owen said. We were in hopes. Silence, child. Queen Aklarana spoke gently, her pale blue eyes glowing in the shadows. Though we would hear of our dear friend Puck, we first must attend to the unraveling of eons, probably. Inclining her head towards Gorath, her voice and composure took on a grave edge. You have come before us as a Moritrol, but never may you leave Elvendar as such. Are you willing to return to us, your ancient kin cousin? Rage flashed in his eyes. Trembling with emotion, Gorath advanced on the queen, his hand darting to the hilt of his sword. No, Gorath, Owen gasped, knowing his woes was too small to stay his friend's wrath. You can't. I was Gorath of the clean Ardenian, he spat, his voice thick with an ageless contempt. Color drained from his face as he gripped ever more tightly the sword at his side. I am Gorath, and I formally return to the Eletal and swear fealty to Aklarana, Queen of the Owls, and to Thomas, Prince, Consort, and War Leader. Falling to one knee, he knelt low before Aklarana's feet. I'm yours to command, lady. His heart hammering an unsteady tattoo in his chest, Owen stared in frank appraisal of the elves before him. Except for a glazed expression lingering on Prince Consort Thomas's face, he saw no evidence that any of them had witnessed anything unusual. Rise, from this day forward, you're no longer Moritrol Gorath, Aklarana said. You're a member of the family of Elvendar and of the Eledar. The request is done, you will return here to be born with us, that is our desire. What is this news of Puck? As if awakening from a dream, the elven war leader spoke the magician's name with great concern, his dark eyebrows rising in interest as Owen began to elaborate the details. At times he would request that certain details be repeated, but always his glassy eyes became sharply focused when Owen spoke the names of Puck and members of Arutha's court. By the moons, that means trouble, Thomas coughed as the boy finished his tale. The Book of Macros is not a book, but instead a gift that Puck gave to me long ago. I was to use it to come to him. If he ever left that message for me, I must go. You cannot love. Even now I can sense the effects of the pain-killing herbs beginning to wear off, Aklarana said, laying a pale hand on Thomas's shoulder. As if broaching a delicate subject, she continued quietly. 3 days ago, the war leader was struck with a poisoned blade. Only last evening did his fever abate, and he demanded to be brought here when he heard that the Moritrol was returning. He hasn't the strength for a trip, he must go in his stead. Don't try my patience, Aklarana. Puck needs my help, and I shall go. Struggling to gain his feet, he plunged with the effort, standing straight only by groping the back of his throne. How many of our kin carried you here, my warlord? The queen asked, her voice laced with concern. Was it 5 or 6? You're no longer possessed by the soul of Ashen Sugar, and you're not gifted with immortality. None doubt your strength or loyalty, Thomas, but you owe it to Puck to send able help. As always, my love, you are wise, Thomas whispered, his strength beginning to fail him. Reaching beneath the seat of his throne, he brought forth a leather tome covered with dust. We may not be the strongest or the fastest, Thomas, but we are able and we are here. Send us to him. I have little choice. You, Goroth, shall be my emissary in this. May the blessings of Almandar go with you, and tell Pog I'm sorry. We shall. Chapter 7, The Long Ride. Bells tolled in the towers of North Warden, jubilant guards shouted from the walls, slapped backs, exchanged war stories only days old. Already a bard was milling through the crowd, gathering names and places, scribbling them down as fast as he could. Tonight they would gather, and they would drink, and they would pay old Tamni the minstrel each time he sang their names. Listening to the general hubbub drifting in through an open shutter, Senior James allowed himself a grim smile as he dropped down to where Arutha and Locklear conferred over a battle map. By day's end, I warrant that Delican will have died on the sword point of every man here, James said. It's a shame he wasn't really leading that raid. Indeed, Arutha agreed, his eyes shrouded as he brooded about something. I would like to ask him a few questions. I leave for High Castle at noon, even though the Moritrol have turned from here. I am certain that the first of them will be upon our troops there by sunup tomorrow. Fortunately, my army will be there to greet them. Still, I wish I knew what they were up to. Arutha glanced up, startled as a page boy skidded into the chamber. Your pardon, my lord, the boy stuttered. They have captured the Moritrol raiding leader. Without pause, Arutha's eyes hardened. Prepare him for questioning. Cooperate now, Moritrol, and I promise you'll live to see your children become adults. Daunt me, and I'll have your eyes for knuckled speech and your manhood for an inkwell. My death will be unimportant. If you think we shall torture you unto death, I would advise you that you ponder my mood. Anxious though I am to have answers, I will keep you screaming this side of death a month or a year, or until I feel well satisfied that we've heard all that you have to say. A day or a month you've already lost. Nail my entrails to your doorpost. Eat my brain to your dogs. It will not matter. Even if you act now, it will be too late. You will win only pain for your trouble. Instruct him, torturer. You do not listen. We know the secret of Sethanon. We shall free him. What secret? Why to Sethanon? 10 years ago we attacked with Mormantimus. You captured, imprisoned him. Looted fool, we killed Mormantimus at Sethanon and burnt his bones for potash. There is nothing there for Delican to find. A lie. We have spied. What else could you guard so closely? How does he think he will win past our garrison at High Castle? He hasn't enough men. Answer me. Rift machine. The six have a machine. It can take them place to place, like a door between great distances. Even while your troops die at Sethanon, we will walk through the machine. We shall be through the Dimwood and inside Sethanon a week before you can reach us. Your troops will be exhausted. The day will be ours. A rift machine inside the Dimwood. That bastard Surani magician has been consorting with Delican. Torturer tells Senior James and Locklear to ride to the Dimwood. They must find and destroy that rift machine while I hide to High Castle and divert our forces once more. Time is of the essence. Chapter 7, The Long Ride. Destroy the Moritrol lift machine. Back in business, aren't we? Let's make a new save here. I was supposed to say stream 17, not stream 1. Though no great loss. We'll keep the save in case we need to go back. I'm never sure that we've completed everything that we need to complete in this game. Always have this funny feeling that we missed something, and I'm sure we missed some things in this game. Despite our best efforts, there are just so many things that we could potentially have done. Let's pack things up here. Yeah, thanks for coming, Averventus. Nice to see you in here again. Let's see who's on and see about rating someone. This was a decently good success. We finished chapter 6. Chapter 7, 8 and 9 remain probably at least 2 streams per chapter as it has been, sometimes 3, so plenty to go in this game still. Who's on? Game Squad is playing Bomberman 94. Let's go hit him up. I'll set up the raid now. Thanks for coming, guys. Much appreciated as always. Thanks for the raids, Gleeser and Air Jury, and for the resubs, Retropounder, Gleeser. Hope I'm not forgetting anyone. The Might and Magic 6 here tomorrow. Looking forward to that one. Been a hot minute since I streamed that as well. I'll see you guys then. Until then, enjoy the rest of your night. You sleep well, and later.